Hello, welcome to Foxy Roxy Reviews. Okay, today on Foxy Roxy Reviews, is the battle of the colour correction palettes in today's budget battle. So colour correction is a really big deal at the moment. I know that some of the palettes I tried to review today have actually sold out. So that's kind of how popular it's been at the moment. And there's lots of different brands trying to get in on the act, doing their own one. So that'll be really interesting today to have a look literally at a few different ones between £4 and £6. So today I thought I'd kick off with the cheapest of the bunch, the MAU Pro Base Correction palette. Now what I like about this palette is first of all its size. It's nice and compact, so you can easily put it into a small bag, and all the colours you really need. You've got the greens, the yellows, the purples, the salmons, everything is there. And with some of the other palettes we look at, they have got a lot of other variety of colours in them. What I like about this one is if you want to give it a go and you're not quite sure if colour correction is going to be your thing, this is very much the cheapest one, which is really, really good. When I've applied it on there, I find it has a nice thick consistency to it. As an application, it is more difficult to do a light dusting though. So if you want to do a lighter correction than maybe a heavy red, it's a little bit harder to do a light texture, I found, than some of the other ones. And the other thing that I would say about this one is that even though it's the cheapest one, it's the most expensive. Because even though you only pay the £4 for it, it's actually only 4 grams. So you're looking at about £1 a gram. Where some of the other ones are maybe 12, 13 grams. I think one of them is about 14, 15 grams. And you're paying very similar money. So it depends on what you want. In some ways I think this product is better than some of the other ones that I've seen. But that's my review of the Makeup Academy. Okay, so the second palette I have today is the Lydia palette. This was actually bought from Amazon. The price for the palette and the brush, which I should cover you in a moment, was actually £4.79 with free delivery. So first I want to show you the brush. So here is the, bear with me one moment, the Lydia brush. Just going to zoom in now, it's zoomed in, there we go, the Lydia brush. Nice, quite nice head to it, just showing it at the side here. It is beveled at the end there, and it's quite nice. I must admit, for a freebie brush, it's actually pretty good. Obviously, it's a fairly cheapy brush. Brushes I find have gone up in good quality over recent years, actually. And this you get as part of the set here. Now, the colours are a little bit different, because there's some colours that are absent, and there's some other things it will do here. So if you actually look at the palette, so pull it back a little bit there. So you get a lot of your colour correction ones here, and then you get the variety of light, medium to darker skin tones there. The one that's absent here is the purple. I can't find a purple on this palette. So if you want to cover yellow skin tones, this maybe not be the one for you. And also the other thing is, even though you get the most product in this palette by far, especially compared to the MAU, is that actually if you look at things like the green and the pink ones and the yellow ones, the ones you're most going to use for colour correction, that gets the smallest amount of product. Because you've got so many other colours going on here, so you get a lot more flexibility with this one. I find this is a lighter coverage as well, so you need a little bit more, but you can do lighter amounts. The brush I actually quite like. It's actually not bad for the money at all. So that's my review of the Lydia colour correction. Okay, and lastly I've got here is the Makeup Revolution colour correction palette. Now this one by far was the hardest one to go and find. I actually had to find this when I was outside of Wales to go and grab it. And I kind of see why. Now the first thing I like about this one is you get slightly less amount of product than you do, let's say, in the Lydia one that we showed earlier. When you look at this one here, but you get more of what you need. Now the only thing I would advise here, if you look at the back of the package, the other one was just a black package, didn't really have much information there at all. But here you obviously got the colour correction, and of course you've got the colours here. Now the way they display on the box is a little bit more vibrant than that you get in the actual palette itself. Let's show you the palette here first of all, in comparison here. So you can see here, those are the colours on the top, and just see they're a little bit lighter. But you can see here you get more product of what you need. So even though, yes, you get a few less grams than the other one, you get more green, more purple, more yellow. And I do find it's got very good coverage. and you're getting 13 grams here, so you're almost getting, no, arguably you're getting 3 times more than the MAU, and you're still getting all the colours that you need. You got your salmons, you've got your yellows, your greens, your purples. There's nothing absent in this palette, and I do think it's really good value. Plus, you get a mirror as well. Now, this one doesn't come with the brush. I'm not a big fan of getting, to be honest, getting brushes with products. A lot of people have complained about with this one that you don't get a brush, but I don't think it's a really big deal breaker. But with this Linda brush, I do like it, because it's actually not too bad. But overall, of the 3, I think this represents the best value if colour correction is what you're going for. So overall, I must admit, I think all 3 palettes, to be fair, have their benefits, have their plus sides. And I think to say one's better, it depends on what you're looking for. I know with some people are cautious about colour correction. That's why I would choose the MAU option for that route. The only thing is, I've just started using this. Literally, I've been going through every few days, using different ones every day, so I get used to using the products. As you can already see, I'm hitting the bottom of the green. Now you can. I'm already hitting the bottom of the green, and I haven't even used it for that many days. Obviously, I've got quite a lot of red to cover up, and I would say, especially with things regarding maybe people are trans, people are pre-facial hair removal, things like that, you generally have a lot of redness, so having green product is useful. I mean, some of the other colours I can see as useful as well, things like the salmon for dark circles as well, but you're more heavier set eyes anyway, when you have more of a male facial structure you're trying to feminise. Focus on those areas is important, so I think there might be some colours you might be digging to more than others. I think the Linda is really good. I mean, it does give you a nice selection of other kind of concealers and different bits and pieces. So you could buy this one in the mind of, I want to get into colour correction and have some concealers to hand as well. And that would be a legitimate thing there to do. But I would say not having some of the colours may be an issue. So if you do have, obviously, the yellower skin tones, you want to brighten that up, the purple would be useful to have. But let's say it's very good value, and if you don't want to splash up on a concealer as well, then you could almost have a bit of a 2-in-1. And as I said before, you know, concealers could if you could for a concealer. But my personal favourite, quality of the product rather, the value would be the Makeup Revolution one, simply because it's got all the colours you need, more of what you would want, and literally for a couple of quid more, you literally get over 3 times the amount in this one as opposed to that one. So that is my personal favourite. But then again, if you want to try something out, MAU, and then if you want to have a more generalised palette and you want to have a brush as well, Linda has also got a good one. But overall, for everything balanced, I would say the Makeup Revolution is the best value. That is my review of the colour correction palettes, and please subscribe.